Your commission's too high. The last agent we spoke to said that they would do it for less. What do you say? If you freeze, if what comes out of your mouth is stuttering and sputtering, two things will take place. One is you'll end up listing the property for less than what you believe that you're worth. And two, you could end up losing the opportunity to do business with this individual. So it's critical that you know what to say and how to say it and be prepared for it. You have to expect it. I know a lot of us as individuals, when we're consumers, we'll spend hours looking on Amazon to try to save a few bucks on a product. And here we are in front of someone and they're going to spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on a commission to have an agent help them with a transaction. So of course, you would expect them to ask this question. What's also true is we have to do our part to ensure that we're creating value, both perceived value and tangible value. The way that we create perceived value in the minds of the consumer are things like online reviews, like websites, like sending them a bomb video before you go and see them on the appointment. Real tangible value are things like, Matterport camera, things like staging, things that actually have real value for the consumer that will help them to accomplish their goals and objectives and also cost money. So if we've done our part in those two areas and we've created perceived value, when they ask you this at the listing appointment, what do you say? Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to isolate the objection. Right? There's nothing more deflating than answering an objection and there be another one right behind it. So I would say something like, yeah, that's a wonderful question. And I promise you that that's something that won't be a reason why we don't do business. I'm sure we'll come up with something that's mutually beneficial to all parties. I want you to make this decision based on who you feel is most competent, professional, has the best track record, the best reviews. And once that you decide that that's me, I know we'll be able to work that out. So my question to you would be, is if we can come to an agreement in terms of the professional fee, which I know we will, do you think there'd be any other reason why we couldn't get started today? And if they say, well, no, I think that's it. Say, okay, great. Well, what were you thinking? Now we're in the midst of negotiating. I want them to speak first. And let's say they say something like, 4.5%. Now, I'm very well aware that all commissions are negotiable. At the same time, we have some kind of standards of what we're accustomed to as agents. What I'm also aware of is in different geographic areas, what's customary is different. Let's say the standard in your geographic area is somewhere between 5 and 6, and they say, hey, I was thinking 4.5%. You say, okay, great. Well, from my perspective, I would never want to put you in a situation that wasn't beneficial to you as a homeowner. Can I explain to you what I mean? And they say, well, sure. The professional fee is one of the tools that we use to market the property as far as what we offer out to another agent if they can find us a buyer that's ready, willing, and able to purchase. Because agents, they don't control what people buy, but they definitely have influence over what they see. Let's imagine for a moment that you were a full-time commission-based salesperson and there were 10 properties that were available for sale, and 8 of them were offering out what was customary, so something like 2.5 or more. And there was a handful, like 2 other properties that were offering out less than that. Honestly, as a full-time commission-based salesperson, which properties would you be more excited about showing and selling? So the professional fee on the listing side for us to list the property is, and here's where you state what you feel like you're worth and what you would like to be compensated for the time, energy, effort, and resources that you're putting in. So really all we're talking about is what we're going to be offering out to another agent if they can find us a buyer that's ready, willing, and able to purchase. And we have a couple of options that are at our disposal. The first option is that we offer out less than what's customary. That could end up affecting showings, which ultimately could end up affecting how much we get for the property. The second approach is where we offer out what's customary, at least 2.5%, maybe a little bit more. The logic behind that strategy is we broaden the exposure and we increase the probability that we can get as many showings as possible and ultimately end up with an offer that's the most that somebody's willing to pay. The question is based on what you're looking to accomplish and why, which one do you think would serve you and your family best? And then you're quiet. Well, can't you just make an adjustment on your side? And you say, well, I appreciate that. And I certainly see where you're coming from. I guess what I'm aware of is one of my concerns would be whether it's me or any other agent that you hire for the job is you're hiring them based on your skills in negotiating. Because they're going to be having conversations about your price without you being present. Have you considered that? How are you going to feel knowing that you hired an agent based on their skills in negotiating and they demonstrate right in front of you the inability to protect the value of their own fee? You want somebody that's going to be very diligent and proactively polite and aggressive, fighting for you tooth and nail to help you get every penny possible for your home, don't you? Yeah, you know what the great news is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? You found what you're looking for. Let's go ahead and proceed and take care of the appropriate paperwork. So this is a sequence that you can use when on presentations, when somebody asks you the professional fee, how much is the commission, and kind of the commission objection. You can be comfortable with it. You can be open, ultimately end up with more agreements signed and more sellers that are happy because you are going to be the one that helps them to accomplish their goals and objectives and get top dollar. So I hope this was helpful to you. And if it was, be sure to stick around so you can watch the next video.